Hello. So we did a choco update a few minutes ago, so let's do another video now for severe weather update. North America, some stuff for Europe and South America. So in terms of severe weather, they did put a marginal risk today. The Midwest, Northern Plains for some wind and hail, especially like wind and tornado threat, nothing. So today is September 2nd, 2025. In thunderstorms, the potential for isolated severe wind gusts and hail possible today parts of northern plains, the upper Mississippi Valley. So be careful in those areas, but the main thing is tomorrow. There's like this light risk spots of Oklahoma and the marginal from Texas to Missouri. There's a small tornado threat in Oklahoma, some damaged winds, and especially large hail, especially the 15% hatched. So please be careful in those areas and risk of severe storms. Exist parts central plains, severe wind and hail, primary threats instead of 2-inch hail and plus diameter is also possible, as this mid-level trough that will rapidly amplify across the Mississippi Valley, while upper region persists interior west tomorrow, Wednesday, in the central west below Carolina deep layer northwestern flow regime, and a surface cold front will surge southward across central plains, acting as a low-level lifting source via the convergence, and the seasonal low-level moisture is still present over the region. At least scattered strong thunderstorms are expected ahead of the cold front during the afternoon, given strong shear and colder temperatures aloft, the overspreading prefrontal air mass with the passage of embedded impulse, some storms are expected to be severe. So please be careful. Still, some surface temperatures over 80 Fahrenheit and some upper 60 dew points. And still some steep lapse rates possible. This MS in the Cape might be close to 2,500 joules per kilogram, depending on what happens, and some effective boat shear is 40 to 50 knots. So storms are expected to become supercells accompanied by severe wind and hail. Some indicate that a couple of stronger sustained supercells may develop across eastern Kansas late afternoon through the evening hours. Both vertical shear profiles and colder temperatures aloft coincidences of larger than 2-inch plus hail in diameter and perhaps a tornado. So stay safe, especially across Kansas, Missouri as well, but especially Kansas and to Oklahoma and those areas. I said Oklahoma before, but the slight risk is over Kansas. So stay safe and still a marginal risk for day 3, September 4th, I think, Thursday. So be careful in those areas near the Appalachians and still some scattered dry thunderstorms spots of the west today, especially in Oregon, California, Nevada, and still some tomorrow. So be careful those dry thunderstorms. Spots of Europe, they did put like a high risk for some heavy rain and spots and some severe storms in Italy, Slovenia, and Croatia. But there are some discussions about this because the weather models themselves, they don't show that much rainfall. There's a round of severe storms now in northern Italy, into Slovenia this morning, and into Croatia, and some scattered storms central Italy. But this afternoon, there'll be a second round of storms, the same areas in Italy and Austria. So there's definitely a flooding threat and some severe weather of those, especially here because they do show a good thing here. The jet stream is right over like Central Europe from Spain to Croatia, the strong jet stream. So in that area, there's some high wind shear across Italy into Slovenia. So these storms might be supercells, some large hail and damaging winds as well, and perhaps a few water spouts. So stay safe in those areas. Please be careful. There's the RO model. It shows locally in some spots to 90, 100 millimeters, a few spots there in Slovenia and to Italy, but not too much. So stay safe in those areas. And next 5 days does show some rain across Portugal, Spain, but still kind of quiet there. The main actions around, like most rain around the UK, Scandinavia, spots of Iceland as well, and some decayed fronts in Eastern Europe. and like in the Caucasus, a few storms still. So be aware. Tuesday, so shows like today's Tuesday, some rain in the UK and France as well, but especially Wednesday, this bigger front in the UK and France with more rain and everything. This goes into Norway. By Thursday, some rain there as well. And then Thursday, there shows some storms again across France and even Spain, spots of Germany. Some stronger storms Thursday to be careful with, and even Friday. And we're still watching on September 7th, another front possible. So be aware in those areas and be careful. Monitor the local forecast for updates. And in South America, there's something important to mention as well. Across southern Brazil and Uruguay, spots in Argentina, there's this front, some heavy storms from today, Tuesday, and all the way to Friday, the 5th, in southern Brazil, and even until Saturday. So like 5 days shows more than 100 millimeters in Argentina into Brazil. So stay safe, some strong severe storms, but especially flooding in those areas. Be careful, and some heavier tropical downpours over northern South America, spots in Western Africa, especially be careful with flooding too and stay safe. This mainly it, and shows some more rain across central Canada, those areas, the southwestern US, a few monsoon storms still, and there's that heat wave still spots the western US into western Canada, and that mass of colder temperatures central Canada into the northern US. So remember that as well and still shows like a tiny bit of snow in Ontario possible. So still possible. Be aware spots northern Alaska as well. So be aware the European shows a tiny bit in the Rockies, but still a low chance. Like the GFS doesn't even show anything there. The GFS is more in Ontario. So we'll keep watching and be aware.